I had ordered a bunch of different little pieces of thrifted vintage designer jewelry for you guys. I was gonna box it all at once, which I did find some pieces, but out of the 5 pieces that I ordered, 2 of them turned out to be fake. Which is honestly a bit ironic because I had just gotten a comment on one of my recent videos of how do you know that your items are real? And I gave him a huge list of pointers. To be honest, I gotten a little cocky and I didn't really do my due diligence. But before we get into it, I kind of want to lay out my thoughts on reals versus fakes because I know that the Walmart Birkin is a hot topic now.
If you just know you're that girl, yeah, you just have no choice but to be that girl. And I feel like I'm that girl.
So starting from the top, I don't think it's that cool to steal somebody's idea. I think the copyright issue is an issue. But I hear and I understand the other side of the argument where fashion houses are making way too much profit just because they are marking it up for the name. Let's be real, they are making an exorbitant amount, and to some extent that's wrong on them. So I think we can agree to say it touche. My fear is mostly like on the level of artisans. Are artisans that are working for these fashion houses, are they getting paid a fair wage? Because for example, a Birkin takes 18 hours for one person to make. And I think the time and effort is something that people don't realize is a huge difference between authentic pieces and then the fast fashion, Temu, D-Gate. But in a perfect world, I don't care about fakes versus real. It's no one's business. Everyone has reasons for buying what they buy. So as long as it is not harming anyone, we should let everyone do what they want. Now, have I bought some counterfeits in the past? You best believe I did when I was right out of college, but I currently no longer have those. Now, where I do have an issue is people lying and deceiving others, claiming that they are selling real and selling it for the authentic price point when they know that their product is in fact not genuine. But anyways, for this video in particular, I wanted to help you learn from my mistakes on the orders that I just made that were fake, that I did indeed believe were real. We're gonna walk through everything that tipped me off and things that were obvious that somehow I missed. Now, if you want to see the unboxing of my authentic items, I really grinded for you guys this week and I am putting out 2 videos at the same time. So the authentic, designer, and vintage haul is going to be in the end card. So both of the fake purchases were made on eBay. Now, if you want to be really safe and you're searching on eBay, you should only use eBay Authenticate, okay? So eBay Authenticate is what it says. The products do get authenticated so that it is like, yes, this is for sure Louis Vuitton. I checked it. You should have no doubts. Now, if I do not buy on eBay Authenticate, but yet I'm still buying on eBay, I usually always make sure that the shop is from Japan. I've drilled this in you guys that Japan has stricter counterfeit laws, so they are more trustworthy. This time I decided not to do either of those, and both of these products were from the United States, where sadly people like to deceive for $1. And actually one of them was right down the street because I can see the address. So let's take a look at the first listing. Now, I should have known from the pictures alone, they were only $109. And let me pause here to say that one of my first tips to you guys is that if the price is too good to be true, say it with me, it usually is. Now, my naive self was looking at this listing and I was like, well, it says it doesn't include the backs. So that's probably why it's a cheaper price point, is because part of the product is missing, which at the time I didn't care because I have other backs that I can just use for these and I can get for a discount. But in reality, the backings of designer earrings are a telltale sign on if they are real or not, and they are hard to replicate. So that's most likely why these didn't come with a back. You can see that Louis Vuitton is clearly stated in the title of the product as well as the description, which is what makes this incorrect, because sometimes you will see Louis Vuitton inspired, or it'll have some sort of code, like it'll be like brand, or I don't know. But this one is saying, hey, this is supposedly Louis Vuitton. The listing says no returns, but do not feel hopeless if you find yourself in a case where you got something and now you're questioning if it's real or not. Because even though this says no returns, eBay actually backs you up, and so if the product is not as described, then you can get your rebate back. But this is exactly how I unpacked them. The red flags were going off immediately. I think I was on high alert already because there were no backs, and the fronts felt really flat to me. So I went to Vestiaire Collective where I knew I had these saved previously, and Vestiaire Collective is digitally inspected, even further inspected if you do decide to buy it. So I knew that those would be real. And the key here are the backs. So luxury is always going to be very clean cut. So do you see how the real ones are very smooth and the brand stamp is very clear, but you can see here you can barely read it. And again, here are a pair of Louis Vuitton backs that I have. I know we don't have backs to compare it to, but you can see how they have their own little backing shape. And it's almost similar to like the Louis Vuitton little flower logos. And when it came to the second pair of earrings that I got, they didn't have a chance because I was ready to clock. So first thing, I pulled out this little bag, which appears to be authentic. And also the little empty envelope cover, which to me just really adds to the sliminess and the pulling the wool over eyes. And this is why I don't encourage, and I encourage you to not sell your bags and packaging online, because just know that it is more than likely going to go to someone who's going to try and trick someone. These sell on Mercari, on eBay, just the little bags, boxes, and you're not going to get that much for it, okay? You're going to get like $5 to $15 maybe, and then you're going to know that you probably helped trick someone. Now, not always, okay? Maybe if someone thrifted something and it didn't come with the box and they want the box. I mean, not everyone out there is a monster, but I'm just saying it's a thought. It's a thought. As soon as I pulled out the bag, I was like, okay, maybe. Maybe I'm just, trying to catch them. But as soon as I pulled the box out of the bag, I knew. Now, from my experience, I do think this is a genuine bag. I bet they probably just bought it. I don't have another bag to compare it to, so I'll just put it off to the side. Now, this is what it also came with. It's just a little empty, usually has like your receipt or something. And this is a real one that I have that does have a receipt. So I'm pretty sure that, yeah, these are authentic. Well, I mean, this one is, but pretty sure that they put an authentic one in there. This is what they gave me, the fake, and then this is one of my real ones. So you can see the orange isn't too off, and the print really isn't that off either. But what tipped me off was when I pulled it out, it's extremely yellow. Like, look at that. So again, this is the fake and this is the real. And the real has this on it. There's nothing on the fake. And also this little tab. This one, if we can focus it. This one is very light and more satiny. And then the real one is this. It actually looks almost more fake, but it's fabric and darker and has that like triangle. So that was when I knew. Oh, and the dust bag. The dust bag was final straw. Here we go. So this is a real dust bag. I wish you could feel it. It's like so soft. It feels like a little puppy's ear. Like it's all velvety rope. So soft. Y'all, here is the fake. Again, I know you can't feel it, but so thin so you can see the blue through it. Just completely different. Like this is very expensive feeling and this is definitely not. They did not get the print right on this one. It's too tall and skinny. And these are very, very cheap. It looks like little kid bracelets. And here is what they gave me. And this is real. So honestly, I could see this being real as well, maybe. Now, I'll give it to them because these are nice and heavy. They feel luxurious. Without their packaging, I honestly would be questioning it myself. Now, let's compare the backings real quick. Other than that, it's pretty dang close. I'm sad though. They would be so cute. Also, just because this was the second time this was happening in such a short span of time, and I was like really inspecting the listing for you guys, but also to see like where did I go wrong. I did find something in the store that was a little sketchy. They sell jewelry because I do like to see what else they sell, because if they have multiples of things or it looks more like a store where it's like you can just go and pick multiple, that's a little sketchy, especially for thrifting. Like I would think if I went to the thrifting store that I got this purse or even this purse, that there's only maybe one other one that's just like it, right? But their store had multiple of things and they were all the same price. And I even found the exact same listing for these using the exact same pictures. And hindsight is 2020, right? I didn't go inspect this before, but I should have. And also, if they don't accept returns, that could be sketchy because maybe it's an item that they've just had in their store a long time and they want to get rid of it and it's like on final sell and they don't want it back. But it could also mean that they want you to think that, oh no, there's no returns. Because also they're banking on the fact that you're going to read no returns and take no for an answer and not look into the whole eBay backs you up thing. This buyer did accept returns, so it's just going to go back. Now the other earrings, like I said they took no returns, but eBay does back you up if you have proof that it doesn't meet the description, which I showed a real and a fake, and how they claimed that it was in fact Louis Vuitton and it was not authentic. So I did actually, they make you settle it with the buyer at first and then eBay can step in if nothing is resolved. So initially I sent it back and they said, we'll give you half of a refund and you can keep the product. And I was like, no. And then it went back and then they were like, okay, give it back and I'll give you a full refund. I was like, that's right, thank you. I will be getting my full money for both of these products, which thank you eBay. That was very easy and seamless and I appreciate it. If you guys would like a video on how to spot a fake bag, I could do that as well. Just comment below. And again, if you want to watch the real, authentic, thrifted, and vintage jewelry haul, I'm going to have this in the end card. But let's recap what we learned today. So number one, if you only want to shop authentic, then I would suggest that you shop on platforms that authenticate for you. So that's eBay Authenticate, Mercari has an Authenticate portion, Vestiaire Collective is authenticated, Fashion File is authenticated, The Real Real. We all know I don't like Rebag, but it's authenticated. If you're not going to go the authenticated route, I think that shopping from shops from Japan or in Japan almost guarantees you that it's authentic. And if you're going to shop from anywhere else, then I would say it's a no buy unless they have proof of purchase or authentication. And even then, it can get sketchy with faking those. Next, we're gonna look for clear-cut lines and deep engravings. And also check the packaging. The packaging, like I said, can shoot them in the foot. I think those are way easier to spot fakes than the actual products because they've gotten so good at them. We're also going to look at designer backs. Does it match other backs? Because think about it. It is a brand, so it's going to be on brand. Now, of course, vintage may look very different than new season. That is a very real thing. Even looking at Louis Vuitton boxes, there's several seasons of boxes that are real and that make sense. Even if you're not buying on authentic, you can also reference pictures from authenticated sites. And lastly, let people like what they want to like, okay? Whether it's real, whether it's authentic, everyone has their own reasons. As long as everything is fair and no one is getting hurt, let's be kind to each other. Be careful out there, y'all. I'll see you for the authentic jewelry haul. It's right here. Yep, this one.